The land of Tamriel is a place of history and adventure. Hello, my name is CaptainShck, and in this episode of History and Lore, we're going to look at the main continent of the planet of Nirn, Tamriel, and its 9 provinces, each province being unique, holding different creatures, people, and histories. Welcome to the History and Lore of the Elder Scrolls. The continent of Tamriel is divided into 9 provinces: Blackmarsh, Cyrodiil, Elsewhere, Hammerfell, High Rock, Morrowind, Skyrim, Somerset Isle, and Valenwood. Blackmarsh is a massive and mostly uncharted region of densely vegetated wetlands, and is at the southernmost tip of Tamriel. In this wetland, the Argonian people thrive, making their home in the foreboding swamps and thick brush. Their natural ability to breathe underwater and high resistance to disease makes this a perfect home for the cold-blooded race. Blackmarsh, also known as Argonia, is filled with great inland waterways and impenetrable swamps that make it almost impossible to reach the interior for non-Argonians. Cyrodiil, also known as the Imperial Province, is the capital province of Tamriel, and is the homeland of the Imperial race. Located in the center of Tamriel, the Emperor and the Elder Council live and rule from here. Cyrodiil is the setting for the Elder Scrolls Oblivion. Each major city in Cyrodiil has its own count or countess, who rules over the city and the surrounding country. The Imperial city itself doesn't have a count, as it's ruled by the Emperor and the Elder Council. Cyrodiil is mostly an expanse of forest and mountains. At its heart lies the Nibene Valley, a vast plain enclosed by equatorial rainforests. Many rivers flow through this area. As one ventures further south, the land becomes increasingly subtropical. Elsewhere is a land of extremes. To the north is an arid desert badlands similar to Hammerfell. To the south, the more populous subtropical zones. This region is home to the cat-like beast race of the Khajiit. Only in the south, near the oceans, does the land become somewhat fertile. Elsewhere, society is divided along these lines, with a stratified plantation aristocracy centered on production of hallucinogenic moon sugar occupying the southern groves, and a society of nomadic desert tribesmen occupying the badlands and deserts to the north. Elsewhere was explorable in Arena, but has yet to be accessible since, unless you're playing certain mods for Skyrim. Small elements of the Khajiit culture reoccur in each game, and we will touch on this in a later video. One of the most anticipated places for me to visit when ESO comes out is Hammerfell. Bordering High Rock, Skyrim, and Cyrodiil is the home of the Redguards. The Almiri people call this land the Deathlands. Its largest and most defining feature is the Alkuri Desert, which takes up all of the western region of Hammerfell and is widely considered the most inhospitable region in Tamriel. These deserts used to be populated by monstrous beasts, including giant scorpions. By the 4th era, the Redguard had managed to significantly reduce the presence and threats of these creatures. Bordering Skyrim is the rugged Dragontail Mountains, which run the length of the northern border of Hammerfell. This area is the setting for the game The Elder Scrolls II: Daggerfall. Like Hammerfell, High Rock was also a major setting of The Elder Scrolls II: Daggerfall. It is the home of the Bretons and the Orcs. This province is divided into multiple Breton city-states and minor kingdoms. It is a temperate coastal region. The forested peaks of the northern Rethgarian Mountains are occupied mostly by Orcish tribes based in Orc strongholds. The only truly cosmopolitan city lie along the Lilac Bay, the enclosed body of water across from which sits Hammerfell. This region is known for its many small villages and towns, and for the many grim fortifications that dot the hillsides and crags around them. In the past, these castles were the domains of many petty kings and lords that ruled the massive patchwork of smaller nations that used to make up High Rock. Many of these fortresses are now in ruins, as the Empire has been demolishing them since the time of Tiber's Septim, to prevent them from being used as bases for future rebellion. Located in the northeast of Tamriel, Morrowind is a largely alien and inhospitable place where the sky is darkened regularly by furious ash storms, belched forth by the mighty Red Mountain, the largest volcano in Tamriel. The familiar flora and fauna of Tamriel is exchanged for bizarre and twisted forms that can survive the regular ashfall. In the ashlands, cloaked and masked Dunmer tend herds of giant insects called netch. Netch are jellyfish-like creatures that are herded and bred. Although they possess a somewhat jellyfish-like appearance, they exist entirely out of water, sustained by internal sacs of magic vapors. Much of the landscape is as twisted and mountainous as its neighbor, Skyrim. But it is hot and desolate land, even far from Vvardenfell, where the Red Mountain is located. Skyrim is a vast region set in the northern part of Tamriel. It features many different terrain types, including tundra, plains, forests, highlands, and mountainous regions. It's the most rugged region on the continent, not only containing 5 of the highest peaks in Tamriel, but also it's very snowy and cold. Only in the western reaches are there some measure of flat land where most of the population resides. The rest of Skyrim is vertical, mountains, cliffs, deep valleys. Here is the home of the Nords. The Nords have a natural resistance to cold and frost, having evolved in the northern reaches of Nirn. Eager to augment their martial skills, the Nords excel in all matters of combat and traditional warfare. Nord culture centers on the quest for honor and glory, with emphasis also on family and community. I can't wait to do an episode on just the Nords and their history and society. Somerset Isle, known by the Third Almari Dominion as Alinor, is a large island to the southwest of Tamriel's mainland. The Somerset Isles encompasses a second smaller island called Eredom. Somerset is inhabited by the Altmer, also known as the High Elves by the Imperials, of whom magic is said to flow through their very veins. While the Solad are believed to be the first inhabitants of the island, the Solad are a race of slug-like beastmen living in the coral kingdom of Thras, southwest of Tamriel. It is believed that this is the first province that was occupied with the Aldmer. Valenwood is the southwestern region of the Empire of Tamriel. Valenwood is a largely uninhabited forest wilderness. The coast of Valenwood is dominated by mangrove swamps and tropical rainforests, while the heavy rainfalls nurture the temperate inland rainforests. The Bosmere live in clan houses at sites scattered along the coast and through the interior, connected only by undeveloped foot trails. The few imperial roads traverse vast, dense woodlands studded with tiny, widely separated settlements and carry little trade or traffic of any kind. Furthermore, the nation is home to giant migratory trees, such as the Phalanstee, that house their cities. It is a sea of endless green. The home of the Bosmere is Tamriel's garden. Tamriel is one of my favorite worldscapes, built around the 9 provinces, each with its own style and character. I look forward to taking a look at each in more detail in later episodes. I do this history and lore series only on games that I truly enjoy, the Fallout series, Battlefront, The Elder Scrolls. If you enjoyed this episode, please hit that thumbs up button, subscribe here on TGN, or come on over to my channel, The XP Gamers, where we support the modding community. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.